Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger goes on the record. Good evening, sir.
Hey, Greta. Thanks for having me.
First, the news that 250 Americans plus joining ISIS or terrorist groups around the nation. Around the world. Your thoughts, sir?
Well, look, it's very dangerous. Not just are we supplying fighters to basically our chief enemy, ISIS. These folks can come home. They can come back, some cases with clean passports, come back through Turkey. We have no idea. And they've been radicalized. But here's the situation. We have to show how we can stop these folks. They're not joining ISIS to go and die for ISIS. They're joining to go and fight for ISIS. So I think we have to make it clear that you will die if you join ISIS. Now, how do you do that? I think we have to
die. That's the problem. I mean, that's sort of the whole jihad idea. You're a hero if you die. I mean, you're going to, once you get to wherever it is that it's supposed to be so splendid.
I think once you're radicalized, that's true. I think once you're radicalized, you do want to die. But early on, people, look, they see, guys going around, shooting up villages, doing it for their so-called religion, and it's enough to sell them on this. When they get radicalized, then they say, hey, I want to be a martyr. We have to stop them before that. And how do we stop them? You show that we're dealing huge blows, not just in numbers, but in territory to ISIS. You show that it's likely they're going to be killed if they join ISIS. And unfortunately, they show terrible pictures of beheadings and violence. I think it's important for us to show the violence they're perpetrating on the people of Syria and Iraq, and also to show, frankly, the violence that's visited upon them if they face the coalition. But there's no doubt, too, the president needs to have a strategy to win, and his strategy right now is at an utter stalemate.
But the message I suspect that's being sent out there, a lot of social media, even in the news. I mean, we report tonight that it seems that ISIS is, that we're not winning the battle against ISIS. I mean, it looks like ISIS is the victor. I mean, that's part of the attraction. It's the religious fervor, but it's part of the attraction that these people are the ones that are winning. We're losing the PR war enormously. We're losing on the battlefield. We're losing in the PR war.
You know the best way to win the PR war? Not just to put out good PR, you can't manufacture good PR, but to actually have good public relations, and you do that by defeating ISIS in Iraq and Syria. Raqqa, for instance, in Syria. How come we're not dealing major blows to their headquarters in Syria? How come we still have a stalemate? That's a question for the president. The president is more interested, I believe, in maintaining the status quo until he's out of office, because I think ultimately it means that he's going to have to put some level of boots on the ground or special forces. And I think we all know this. He's simply unwilling to do that. He does not want to expand a war that he's promised to end. And, unfortunately, I think in this case, a political promise is more important than actually defeating this cancer. We can bomb them all we want, and we should, but to actually deal a real blow, it's probably going to take much more commitment on our end.
What are your Democratic colleagues across the aisle on Capitol Hill saying when they hear the reports, of more Americans joining ISIS and that we're losing on the battlefield?
Well, I think they're concerned. I mean, look, they're happy when the news isn't about ISIS because it doesn't look good on them. It doesn't look good on the president. They're concerned. But again, it's going to take you calling out the president of the United States to say you're going to have to step up your game. And I know people are scared to death of the term boots on the ground. We're not talking about 300,000 American troops, but we are probably talking about an increased amount of special forces, similar to what we did to win in the surge in Iraq. You capture people, you get their cell phone, find out 10 people they were talking to, capture or kill those 10 people, and unravel the network. But it's going to take American capability, and unfortunately the president's not willing to do that.
Congressman, thank you, sir.
You bet. Thanks.